Hey guys, it's Ryan with Magnum Sports, and today we're doing something kind of different. We get a ton of questions about some of our rigs that we're running on the range and things of that nature. One of the questions that is commonly asked is, how does your rifle look like that? So we're going to show you exactly how to rattle can your firearm. So I have a brand new firearm sitting here right now, and some things to consider right away is the way you tape off your firearm. Here we have just blue painter's tape, just like anywhere else, and I'm going to cover the buffer tube and the castle nut. That way it's easy to remove when the time comes. I'm also covering my trigger, and I have the bolt pulled out of the firearm. Everything else here, as long as I keep it kind of my rattle can far away from the firearm itself and keep the ejection port cover, I should be good to go. I've done this to a number of rifles. I have never had an issue with the way a gun runs after we go ahead and go through this process. And there's a reason we do it. There's a reason why I don't Cerakote my guns or I don't hydro dip my guns. And it's because our environments change and our camouflage needs to be able to adapt to the environment as well. So all things considered, I'm just gonna spray paint my gun because I can put multiple layers, multiple different colors, and continue to build up that paint layer to whatever environment I may be in. So the paint that we're using is gonna be the Rust-Oleum Camouflage. I really have had good luck with this stuff. It's pretty tough, it's pretty rugged. I always try to use at least 3 colors when we're not considering a winter-like environment, okay? So, and you're gonna wanna work your way from light to dark, all right? The other thing I have is some natural foliage from the area. So I have some pines, there's a lot of pines in the area. We're gonna use big, broad needles. I don't wanna use like a spruce or anything like that. And lastly, you can do it with something like this. This is like a orange hunter's vest, and you can see I've painted through this before. The other thing that you can use is like an old military laundry bag. They work really well, and it gives it this really cool like dragon scale pattern. So I may speed this up, time lapse it, so you guys can kind of see how it all comes together. But I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. Time now. And again, always starting off with your lighter color. Considering the environment here in mid-Michigan, we have a lot of sand, we have a lot of dead brush, even during the summer months, just due to last year's dead foliage not completely being gone out of the greens that we're seeing. Give this a good shake, make sure we get a good paint. We do. And we're just gonna take our time trying to stay far away from the gun as possible while still getting coverage. All right guys, so we've given this a little bit to set up. Some of it's looking pretty dry, some of it's still a little wet, but for the gun itself, it's actually pretty dry. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and start adding. So the way we do this is we started off with our lightest color, right, that tan. We're gonna move into the second lightest color, and we always wanna build to our darkest. So next, I'm gonna do like an olive green, something that's very similar to the pine needles in which I have sitting in front of me, okay? And we're just gonna bring our firearm a little bit closer so you guys can get a good look. You don't wanna use too bushy of an area, so sometimes it's best that you literally just like remove one of the stems or 2 of the stems. And you're gonna see needles falling off, but that's what I'm after right there, to give me my pattern across the gun. Now, before you spray this, do yourself a favor and check, because it's going to be super important that you're not getting that splatter, and keep your can kind of upright as opposed to, don't try to do this upside down stuff with this can, okay? You don't want the spitting of the can to screw up what you're trying to do here. So all I'm going to do is lay my pine needles literally over the barrel itself in this location. And you guys can do this wherever and whenever you want, right? And all I'm doing is giving it a nice light stripe, and that's it. And I continue doing this. Make sure your stripes never go the same way. You just keep building stripes in different directions, and we'll see a pattern start to emerge. All right, to give you guys an idea, we've kind of let this gun sit for roughly 10 minutes in between coats. It's not a lengthy process. There's nothing to this. We're gonna have probably a total of 40 minutes into this entire gun. So this next step is where this comes into play, okay? All I'm literally doing is draping the larger portions over the rifle itself, just like so, okay? Pay attention to areas that you may have had splatter you may want to cover, because now's the time to do it. I'm using my darkest of the three colors that I elected to use. I am going to be using a dark brown here, and there's an area that needs to be covered right there, and I simply drape and spray. That's it. You can go as hard or as light as you want to go with this entire process. It's up to you, okay? I try not to do too much, and I try to lighten it up from time to time, just because it is a cool pattern, but you can overdo it, that's for sure, okay? So try not to overdo it here. Just nice, light stripes. guys actually enjoyed this. Hopefully you'll try it. Don't knock it till you try it, okay? This has been going on for many, many years. Many people have been doing it. There's nothing wrong with just spray painting your freaking firearm. And I get it, you can Cerakote it, it'll last longer, but the wear patterns as you use your rifle are almost like a trophy. Like, look how much use this rifle has gotten. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I'll shoot a quick video when it's all dry, put back together, and let's see what you guys think.